Greetings, it is I, Dreadscape Gaming. How are all of you doing today? Dread Knights here on YouTube. Who would have ever guessed that Dreadscape Gaming is actually streaming live on YouTube? If you told me a couple months ago that I was going to be streaming here, I would have told you you're freaking crazy because I've never really cared too much for YouTube streaming. Plus, the old computer that I had didn't really work very well when it came to YouTube streaming, so this is an experiment. I'm very, very new to YouTube streaming. I'm very, very familiar with Twitch streaming. I had to go through a little bit of trouble to try to get everything set up. So if I sound too low, if the game sounds too low, if something looks a little bit off, please let me know ahead of time. I will try to check in on chat. I didn't have time to set up a better chat overlay, so I'm going to try to look over on my phone as much as possible to be able to make this as smooth running as possible. Like, I thank you, because this is like a work in progress, right? Like anything, it's a work in progress. It's good to be back. Stream is going smooth. No dips. Thank you, Nurbig. Good to see you, by the way. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah. I think with really what was the problem before with a lot of the technology I was using was just like my older laptop. The computer was just like really degrading quite a bit, and it just couldn't handle it. And on top of that, like the card that I had in the computer was just kind of like failing, and it was failing overall in general. So today we are going to be playing American Truck Simulator because I wanted to kind of like play a simulator game. I didn't have time to really set up Batman Arkham Knight, and I wanted to test a different type of game before I started like to actually start live streaming on YouTube. So I'm thinking we'll probably do like Batman Arkham Knight at the beginning of next week here on YouTube. Like I said before, I'm diversifying things. So I'm doing like a YouTube stream here and then a Twitch stream here. And then if I don't have time to do a stream, I'm going to try to drop like a pre-recorded thing. That's pretty much how I'm going to be rolling with everything of this nature. So American Truck Simulator, they have done a lot of updates since the last time that I played this on YouTube. On top of everything else, they changed the control scheme. They changed the control scheme on controller. I play on controller. I don't have like a steering wheel and stuff. I don't even have the space to be able to do stuff of that nature. So I probably am going to crash my car quite a bit, which would not be very funny for, well, funny for you guys, maybe not so much funny for me. On top of that, the game looks a little weird. Like if you see like letterbox bars or something, I have a 16 by 10 monitor, not a 16 by 9 like the traditional monitor screens. So I've done my best to try to like stretch things so that hopefully it covers it. But I'm still trying to figure out a really good workaround where I don't have to use an overlay to cover stuff up, because I really hate like using overlays that block a lot of the game screen. So if it looks a little bit like, please pardon, I'm still trying to figure that out. New computer, new to a lot of these things, and I wish YouTube had like a 16 by 10 ratio aspect to like output things in, because it would make my life a little bit more easier. Because come on, give us like ultra wide screen users something here, YouTube, to kind of work with, man. But with that being said, let's get into the game. On my end, it looks like it's completely fine and you're not going to see black bars. I can't really tell. I'm going to look in my phone here a quick second. Hopefully I'm not like super behind in stream. Okay, I'm not looking at my phone apparently here. You guys are a little bit behind me. That's the one thing that I'm not like super keen on when it comes to... It looks fine on my end. It looks like it's completely stretched out. So I think I've solved, at least on phone, that the ATS, how it's going to, like, I'm going to do 1080p gaming and stuff. All right, audio will be coming up. I will have to look in on chat on my phone. I will have a better solution to this soon. Again, I'm still getting used to, like, the live stream format for all these things on one monitor, which it is. Okay, so let me tab into the game. Did the game crash? No, okay. I'm going to be continuing career. It's gonna prompt me for controls. I'm hoping this is the right one. We're gonna go with simple automatic. So I use the joy to steering, RT to drive forward, reverse. Okay. I'm hoping this is gonna go well for all of us here. We shall see. I apparently got an achievement. Game change detected. To prevent issues with the safe compatibility, all unfinished deliveries, that's fine. I don't have all the DLC in this game. Surprised. Is there, like, no game audio right now? What is going on? I'm gonna go to Fresno for quick confirm. Okay, so let's see. I forgot how to do half the stuff in this game. We don't have that much money either, so we're gonna take a quick job. Let's see what we can do. That one's a 24-hour, 7-hour. Let's try to go for the 7-hour gig. It looks like it's gonna be pretty easy. Take job. If the game's too low, let me know. If the game's too loud on your end, let me know. Everything's looking fine. That's good to know. That's good to know. That's good to know. That's what I'm hoping for. Thank you for being my eyes and ears here today, and big, very appreciated. I am playing this off of a external hard drive as well, so hopefully it will load the game pretty quickly. I'm shocked that we haven't heard any game audio. Usually there's like music playing. That's a bit interesting. Okay, we do have game audio. At least on my end, we have game audio. A little low for the headphones, so hopefully they didn't change things too much, and I'll be able to like remember the controls, or at least get used to these concurrent controls. Oh, this truck handles like poopy right now. Hey, that is not the GPS. We're already doing terrible, guys. Already terrible. This is not my truck. That's why we're doing terrible. I need to go back to my depot. Okay, we'll do that after this. We'll just use this truck, and it'll take us out of our pay. That's fine. Alright, how do I get out of here? That's the real question. I'm looking at the GPS. The arrow's kind of weird on this one, too. So how is everybody today? I've been, doing generally well. You know? Can you still center this like you used to with the B button? Nope. Oh, that's not good. They changed that. I used to be able to hit B to, like, center myself in the camera angle. Okay, you can still. Looks a little weird, though. This truck is not, like, my favorite. I don't like sitting in the passenger seat necessarily this way. Okay, we finally got it. It took a little bit. Again, I'm not an actual driver, IRL, so, like, I'm gonna probably abuse most of the traffic rules whatsoever, so this is gonna potentially be... I know that stop sign, you stop. Let's look to see if we get a right of way here. Hi, let me pass. That's not the steering anymore. There used to be... Oh, that's what I have to do? They changed it to the controls? Okay, so for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, to actually use my turn signals, I have to hit the left and right control pad, which it used to be my bumpers controlled that, so that's not... Crash a vehicle? I didn't crash anything, officer. They ran into me. They ran into me. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. At least this wasn't my truck, because I would have molded. That's why I decided to take, like, some of the automated jobs right now, because I was thinking, potentially, because it's a different control scheme than what it used to be for the game, that I would not be able to kind of clutch it. It's kind of a shame that this game still, even on a really great graphics card, still kind of looks a little bit rough around the edges, so to speak. It's definitely, they haven't done much to optimize it, which is kind of unfortunate, to say the least. Let's, so we got a 12-hour drive, and I can't put on any music because most of it would be copyrighted. How was everybody's day today? I had a so-so type of a day. I'm actually incredibly tired. Like I said before, I've just had a very crazy IRL schedule. So IRL-wise, there's been a lot of moving pieces going in the background, as well as just kind of getting used to streaming again, and trying to, like, get to the schedule, and trying to, like, put things into the new computer, because I don't think a lot of people realize this, but, like, when... Hey, buddy, you better not cut me off and hit my car there. The inner New Yorker in me is, getting a little bit of rage there. I gotta be careful with this dude. This truck is not doing as great as I would like it to. But I want to get used to the controls before we start using our trucks again. Just because I'm not trying to, like, destroy my car. And on top of that, we're kind of low on funds right now. Because I want to eventually hire, like, another driver. Yeah. But with that being said, though, like, you know, so it's been an interesting experience, like, especially with the new computer, because, like, I don't know how many of you have had to really switch computers before. And, oh, man... See, they just want me to lose money here, guys. They just want me to lose money. But, like, when you're setting up a new computer, it's always a bit... I have to take a scenic route because, obviously, the cops for not letting anybody go through there. I'm over the speed limit. Speed limit is only 45 here. That's kind of annoying. I'm in the need for speed. I don't want to get a speeding ticket either. You know. Hey, why did you cut me off there, buddy? That's not cool. But yeah, you know, so like with a new computer it's kind of daunting because I'm still trying to put a lot of stuff back into my computer. Like I put in the Steam thing, the Steam client, and I have to re-download some games. Fortunately, I didn't have to download as many games as I was originally expecting to do, because originally what I was planning, what I thought I was going to have to do is I thought like I was going to have to like reconfirm and re-verify all the games that were on my external hard drive or Steam for the new computer. And then fortunately that wasn't the case. Simply I just plugged it in and did a little bit of a verification process with my account, and then it did that, which was fine, which was great. You know what, that's for whatever people complain about Steam. I think Steam's kind of got it right in terms of the technology, especially with cloud thing. Because back in the day when your computer broke and you had to reinstall games the old way, and then license keys and stuff, and if you lost license keys, it would be kind of a nightmare. So I think at least in that retrospect, digitally, I think it was okay. I'm gonna pause here a second. I just want to look over a quick second. Today was okay. Looks one more day off due to the stomach thing. I am so sorry to hear about your stomach flu problem at Urbig. That seems to be going on quite a bit with a lot of people. Quite a lot of people have been having like the stomach bug problems, which is it's kind of unfortunate. Plus, like a lot of COVID's been going on. It looks like it's going to be raining at some point. Oh no, no! This is how we ruin the truck. Okay. So how do I put on like the window wipers and the lights? Because I know I'll probably have to eventually turn them on. Did they actually think about that? Oh! Did I just put the parking brake on? That would be bad, right? Parking brake engaged. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. No parking brake anymore. Wow. Why is it... Okay, so that's the window wipers. So I guess I'm still going to have to hit L for the light. That's kind of funny. A little bit hilarious there, some might say. Okay. But yeah, you know, so it's been a little bit of a tiny little bit stress. I made it. Hello, Countess Crucible Dracul. How are you doing today? It's good to see you here on YouTube. How are you? Did you get some rest Did you get some rest? I'm looking at my phone. Am I going to crash this car? I am not a driver in real life, just so you know. So I don't know barely any of the rules of the road. You know? It's just been... It's been kind of a day. It's definitely been kind of a day here. Not stressing, not stressing. I think I have to turn my turn signal on here. I'm not going to destroy this car, right? I mean, it's the paid company's car, too, so it's not like I have to really worry about it too much. It's not going to come out of my pay, hopefully. Hopefully? Okay. Can we get a little bit faster, or am I going to get, like, a parking ticket? That's the one thing that I'm very stressed out. I should probably stay in my lane, literally here. I'm okay, just woke up from a nap. What about you? I'm doing okay. I did not, unfortunately, I did not get to have much of a nap today. So I kind of just went straight into working on stuff. Just trying to figure out, like, the stream aspect ratio for streaming on YouTube, because I have a different monitor, like I was telling chat. So I don't have 16:9 on my laptop, like the normal. We're above the speed limit. So instead what I have is a 16:10. I have to, like, get creative to make it look properly for different screens. Which I guess it could be worse. I could have, like, a super ultra screen type of... Hey, buddy, why are you trying to cut me off there? You saw I was there packing that big load. How dare ya? How dare you? You can see the inner New Yorker is coming out in me. I don't even drive. I don't even drive. I don't even know what half these turns things are. I should probably slow down, right? Yeah, because... That's a red light. I don't think I can turn this, can I? Does anybody know? Does anybody? I'm gonna maybe get in trouble for running a red light, right? Or is it green? We're about to find out. I'm learning the law of the road right now. Okay, we didn't get a traffic ticket. That's perfect. Yeah, another thing, too, is I'm still trying to get, like, stuff into my computer because I've been dying to play League of Legends. I've been dying to play Fortnite. I know, make fun of me, make fun of me, make fun of me. Half of streaming it just hoping everything works. That is so true. That is so true, Crucy. That is so true. Half the time it's like, Jesus, take the wheel. Not right now, Jesus. I can drive, I can drive. I think I'm competent enough to drive, but still, yeah. Sometimes it's just like, Jesus, take the wheel with stuff. Alright, this is a nice area. This is actually in California. One of the things I really like about American Truck Simulator, besides the fact that we have a very weird, like, U-turn coming up, the game is not having any of that today. I don't have that area unlocked, because there's tons of DLC that you can have. I'm not that bad of a driver, I suppose, at least virtually. We gotta make another turn here. There's gonna be a sharp one. I'm probably gonna de-accelerate just to make sure. These X arrows that you see, I'm gonna probably slow down because I'm gonna crash into something most likely. These arrows that you see are just basically areas that are part of the DLC. So if you don't have the actual DLC, what ends up happening is they just like block you out of that area. And the thing is, some of the DLC, they have like most of the maps of most of the United States. But the biggest issue, I think I gotta use a turn signal here too, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, where am I going? Am I going for gas? What just happened? Why is my GPS lying to me? I think we're good. We have a full tank, and I didn't drive through here the right way to get the gas. What am I doing? What am I doing? I don't want to wreck anything. I just... Okay, this is where the unmitigated disaster... It's a one-way street, okay? I know it's a one-way street. I know it's a one-way street. I'm sorry. I got lost. The GPS wasn't very... Stop, okay? I'm stopping. I'm stopping. This is going to become an unmitigated disaster for nights. Unmitigated. I should probably look at what's start. Hey, can I go fly, please? Just saying. We're stalled. Why are we stalled? What happened? Oh, you gotta be kidding me, man. Okay, go by. Go. Alright. Hopefully. Ah, that's camera angles, man. I want to get back into the driver's view. Okay, good, good. Try not to crash the truck. Challenge failed. Potentially. Okay. Okay. The other thing is this dashboard, I can't tell. I have a dashboard with my personal truck where I can actually tell when I have actual gas and how much I don't. Where is it? Oh, we still have a full tank of gas. We should be okay. We should be okay, in theory. Hey, why aren't you moving? Oh, it's a red light. That's why you're not moving. Okay. Okay. But yeah, like I was saying before, another one of the things is just like trying to get stuff back into my computer now. So I'm like trying to get the Riot launcher, trying to get the Epic Game launcher. Gotta install Fortnite. I want to do League of Legends, hopefully tomorrow. I don't know if that's gonna be... Gotta make them wide turns. I'm scared, Crucy. I'm scared. This is like actual driving training right now. Very, very... It's like on-hand training, except I'm using a controller, and I don't think they would let me in an actual driving test take a controller to try to control the car that way. What type of turn is coming up now? It looks like I'm going on a highway again. Are we on the highway to you-know-what? I hope not. I hope no. This looks like this is gonna be that under one of these impossible turns. Okay. Sharp right turn. There was an old video game for the N64 that was a racing game. And every time there was a sharp right turn, I kid you not, it would scream at you, sharp right turn, sharp left turn. And if you're playing a racing game, that's like one of the most distracting things that are possible. Like, you know what? And anybody that's seen me play Mario Kart, because I have done it on Twitch sometimes, and hopefully I do plan to play more Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in the future, hopefully with viewers as well, knows that I am terrible at sharp turns. Okay, that looks like on the GPS I can drive through there. So, you know, just kind of getting everything stream setup-wise, getting the computer set up. Then also, there's like an event that's going on here in New York City. I don't know how many people know about this, but there's like a feast that happens every year in New York City around September. Which is kind of convenient because it's right like after my birthday, which is September 12th for those of you who don't know. But yeah, here in NYC, they have something called the St. Gennaro's Feast. and basically is like this really giant street fair slash festival in which you walk through Little Italy here in New York City, and they have like wide variety of things there. You could buy like little trinkets, you could buy some clothing, you can get some pretty good bottles of wine we are not above the speed limit. We got to be careful with the speed limit here because I don't want to get a speeding ticket. I don't want to get fired from a trucking job. That would be bad. But in St. Gennaro's Feast, there's like a lot of things. Trinkets. You can get food. So they have like really, really, really good Italian food. So they have like really good baked ziti because it's authentic Italian food. Not necessarily the cheapest. Like a baked ziti at the St. Gennaro's Feast or some stuffed shells, which what I got, or on top of that, some lasagna will run you about. Why is it every red car has it out for me? Why is it? It's like the red cars are just out to like destroy my stuff, destroy my cars, destroy my vehicles. Yeah, but what's ended up happening really with St. Gennaro's Feast is like they charge $21 to $25 for their pastas. So it's like authentic Italian pasta, but it's very, very expensive. They also charge crazy enough, which it's kind of highway robbery, and I guess you could say it's kind of like based on the economy and the times that we're going through, just kind of like in the country at the moment, that the Italian sausage sandwiches are like $20. And the worst part about the Italian sausage sandwiches in particular is the fact that when you buy them at the St. Gennaro's Feast, they often will come where they don't cook them all the way because they're trying to make like a whole bunch of Italian sausages on a grill we're talking about thousands and thousands of people go to the St. Gennaro's Feast, right? So like we're talking shoulder to shoulder, butt to butt. That's how crowded this type of place is. And since they're trying to rush to get everybody's order in and they're trying to rush to like feed all these people, a lot of the times with the Italian sausages, they come raw. So I'm one of the people that has stopped buying Italian sausages from street fairs because every time that I go to buy them, they are raw or I eat them and I will get sick because they were not cooked all the way. And anybody that knows about like tummy aches and stuff, it's not fun to get like E. coli, it's not fun to get food poisoning. It's very expensive in terms of work, not to be able to go to work because of like stomach bugs and stuff, especially if you don't have like paid time off. So that's always like a general concern of mine, just when it comes to like St. Gennaro's Feast festival. So I just kind of like stick to the pastas. Another thing too here in the city, it's just like now lately it's kind of sad because like you can tell it's like the end of summer. It's been getting darker much earlier, obviously because the rotation of the sun is much further away in terms of the earth. So it's like sad because you can kind of tell that we're getting into the fall here. You look outside the window. I'm actually streaming by the window. I'm not on the window, but I'm by the window. And, like, I'm just looking out here. I should be keeping the eye on the road, though, right? I'll keep one eye on the road. And you can tell, like, the sun already is kind of setting on the... What is it? My right-hand side. And you're just looking out the window. It's kind of sad. It's, like, one of the last, like, nice days that we have in the city. And for me, personally, I didn't get to do as much as I wanted to in regards to like summer activities. I didn't really get to go to the beach as much as I would have liked to have done. I didn't get to really do too many things. I did get to go to a couple of like things here and there and events. I didn't get to travel nearly as much as I was originally planning to do. So hopefully like next year I'll be able to get more like personal travel. Because the thing is like lately whenever I have to travel to either for like personal business matters, work related stuff, or it's like something that I'm taking care of, like, you know, and on top of that, I was waiting for, some, I don't know how do I say this in stream? I was waiting for, like, documentation so I can, like, actually travel further than where I've been traveling, as of late, you know, because obviously I had to renew my ID, and on top of that, looking into stuff as to international travel. Because you never know, really, when the business I work in, I've talked about this before, I work film and television industry, right? So there's some times where you really need that particular gig to happen, right? And you might have to travel internationally for it, right? Maybe the gig calls that you have to, like, go to Japan. Maybe the gig calls where you have to go to, like, Italy, you know, outside of states. And those gigs usually they'll pay for the boarding and they'll pay for the travel that you actually have to do for it. But on top of that, you do obviously need, like, obviously passport or work visas and stuff. So I've had to look into stuff of that nature. And anybody that knows that's, like, dealing with international travel, they want us mostly to just kind of, like, focus on work here, obviously inside the country. But I think some of the more paying gigs right now are, like, internationally. On top of that, I have, like, VTuber friends that are in different countries right now that it would be kind of cool to be able to like link up with some of them, so to speak. So I've been looking at that, like, that stuff to thinking. I've been thinking about it a bit more, like, for the future, long term, as to some, like, long term goals. And on top of that, like, really, I've said it before, when it comes to, like, New York City in general, I don't hate New York City, but I've spent enough time in the city to know that things have been getting quite more expensive here in the city, because, like, rent $4,500 on average, $5,000 on average. I go to the supermarket. I've said this before. I've talked about this in Discord. I go to the supermarket, and the supermarkets themselves, like, just for, like, a basic dinner, like, I'm talking a dinner for one, it's gonna bring you up anywhere between 6,000 to... Not 6,000. What am I talking about? I'm looking at how much money I have here on this display. But it'll run you like $60 to $80 sometimes just for one dinner here. And, like, you can go to, like, different supermarkets to try to get better deals, but here, like, everything's just super pricey. So I've been thinking about, like, the future, you know, because it's just like the sun that's setting outside in the window. I'm like, my time, I should have probably gotten some gas just to fill the tank up a little bit, but that would have come out of the company money. But yeah. So I've been thinking about, like, you know, not so much exit plans, but looking at, like, potentially not staying where I am concurrently, spreading my wings, so to speak, venturing on to different places. And so that's why I've been looking at different gigs. Like, friends of mine joke, because I do have friends that live in Japan, they're like, you should come and live in Japan. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. First of all, no disrespect to Japanese culture whatsoever, but I'm not really a big fan of teriyaki. Teriyaki is not, like, really part of my palate, because I'm not really big into soy type of products, so I'm not really, like, into soy. Another thing is, like, they eat a lot of seafood, and I've joked about this on stream before as well, but fish are friends. They are not food, at least not to me. So what I end up doing is I wouldn't eat seafood in Japan. I wouldn't really eat teriyaki. So what does that leave me? Fast food restaurants. And I've talked about this. Another Big can contest to this if you're still here in Another Big. When it comes to Japanese food is so much different, even, like, fast food, compared to American food, because obviously in Japan they don't have the same type of seasoning standards and practices that we have here in the United States. So, for example, when you go to, like, McDonald's, they don't use as much salt in Japan, and they don't use, like, the same type of seasoning. So you'll get, like, an American Big Mac, or you'll get an American, I don't know, quarter pounder with cheese, or let's say Domino's, for example, and you'll go to, like, Domino's, and you will get not exactly the same. Like, it'll be the same pizza, it'll be the same burger, but when you taste it, you're gonna notice that there's a very big... Wow, look at this countryside here. That looks phenomenal here. Eyes on the road, right? But you'll notice that the salt intake is way different. So if you're, like, accustomed to American cuisines, American fast foods in particular, that are super salty, you're just not going to care for it so much. Countess Crucible said salmon is fish and is most definitely food. Are you a big fan of salmon, Cruci? Is that your choice of delish? Do you eat sushi? Like, I could do sushi rolls. Like, don't get me wrong, sushi rolls where you eat seaweed. Seaweed is kind of fine. I'm not really, like, bad when it comes to, like, sushi rolls. I'll eat rice every once in a while. But, like, in Japan, what I'm gonna get besides that? Like, I can't eat sushi rolls all the time that are, like, non-fish ones. And it's just, like, you know, it's just one of those things. Like, I'm so horribly American that when you go there, I do eat sushi. What's your favorite type of sushi? Is it salmon? I'm just taking a guess based on that. Okay, wow, it looks like there's gonna be a rainstorm at some point. How do I... Oh, I didn't want to honk. Wait, you can zoom in? That's new. How do I turn my lights on? Like, if I want to put the lights... Do I have to really hit L? I really gotta do that? Oh, honey. Come on, American Truck Simulator on controller. You've really gotta make me hit the L here. I gotta literally hit my L button while I'm using controller. Is it on? I can't even tell. I don't want to crash into a car right now. How do I tell? Okay. I'm gonna assume the lights are on. Hopefully they're on. Hopefully. Doesn't look like it. Can I... We don't need the... I don't know if they'll give me a ticket because of the storm area. Hopefully not. Don't want to miss my... Don't want to miss my drive there. I like shrimp tempura, and there is salmon roll I like. Cool, 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 cool. Are you into, like, a lot of Japanese food? Are you up on your Japanese cuisine? Like, I'll tell you, there is one thing that I'm up on. Japanese drinking. So sake. I don't know how many people have ever had sake. It is delicious. Obviously, then there's also soju. Even though soju is more like a Korean type of, Asian type of alcohol. I'm not really big on soju. I have friends that drink like a lot of soju and like get super tipsy off of soju. But for me, I'm not really a big fan of like grape flavor type of stuff in my alcohol. Like if I'm drinking, like if YouTube, please don't cancel me here for talking about like adult beverages. But we're hopefully all adults here watching this YouTube. But like when it comes to like alcohol in particular, I'm not really big on super sweet-ish type of drinks. So for me, I'm a beer dude. I like to drink my beers every occasion. So I like my Miller Lite. I like my Miller. Blue Moon is my favorite, obvious. Well, not so much obviously, but Blue Moon because I'm a really big fan of Belgian wheat. I've had ramen and tonkatsu don. I enjoy most of the candies. I have had ramen. I do like ramen, so I can't say I would be completely a fish out of water when it comes to Japan. My niece actually gets really good ramen from around here. There's a spot that does like really, really fancy Japanese ramen here in the city. So one of the ramens that she's addicted to is, you know, matcha tea? I hope I'm not like mispronouncing that. But it's matcha tea. And matcha tea, so they have the ramen where it's matcha ramen. It's matcha chicken ramen. So like literally the green matcha tea that's inside the ramen with the noodles and the chicken, and she swears by it. It's one of her most favorite delicious like meals, and she swears by that one. There's this interesting ramen that you can only get in Japan, where it's like literally blue, the broth. I had a VTuber friend by the name of Sarah, who took a trip to Japan because she's actually native Japanese. And Sarah Casera took pictures a while back on their social media. They're from a VTuber corporation known as Lucid Multimedia, so definitely check out Sarah Casera's content. She's like got really, really good content. But she showed the blue ramen dish, and it's like only available in this one Japanese restaurant that's super trendy. I've been dying to try it just because it's interesting. Blue broth. Did hear that right? Yes, it's a blue broth. Brucey, it's blue broth. So they basically apparently use squid. So it's like a combination of squid and it's a combination of seaweed, and the blue broth is like done naturally. So they like drain some type of liquid, I think it's from the squid, as well as like a certain specific seaweed that is, I guess you could say, indigenous to Japan. More so seaweed than it is squid, and it turns the broth naturally blue. So the broth itself is like chicken stock based, and then they just use natural like seaweeds and other type of things to give it that like blue thing. So it's not like food coloring, which I think is kind of a good thing, because I'm not one of these conspiracy theorists that'll say like food coloring does terrible things to the human body, but it kind of does. It kind of does. Like there was this old wise men tale a long time ago that hopefully I can say this on YouTube without getting canceled, but there was this old Wiseman tale that apparently yellow 6 food dye in particular was very, very unhealthy for you. So, like, back in the schoolyard, way back in the schoolyard days, there was this running gag that apparently yellow 6, which was available in, like, these small... Please pull in for a vehicle inspection. Where the hell am I going to pull in for a vehicle inspection, game? There's nothing on the road. Oh, okay, because there's one over that way, I was about to say. Blue Broth. Yes, but it's Blue Broth. But, yeah, so there was this little schoolyard rumor that yellow 6 made men, in particular, sterile. And it's kind of funny because it was like a little bit of an urban legend, and believe it or not, years later, I found out that they got rid of yellow 6 food dye, in particular, because it did, in fact, make many, many people, allegedly, sterile. Many, many men. Many, many men. So that was kind of interesting. So, like, whenever I think of food coloring in particular, thank you for your cooperation. Have safe journey. Okay, thank you. That was very polite of you. So any time that I think of, like, food dyes in particular, I remember the yellow 6 incident, that the urban legend that actually turned true. Apparently, like, yellow 5 food dye is not. So, like, whenever I see stuff that is, like, potentially, like, things that are weird coloring food, I try to, like, stay mostly away from it if it's, like, unnatural flavors. I mean, there's stuff that you just can't help, right? Like, so if you go to get, like, cookies from most bakeries, in particular, imagine the lawsuit. Yeah. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Percy, for the yellow food dye incident in particular, there were people who eventually sued. There's, like, some really interesting lawsuits that have happened in the day and age. So, anybody familiar with baby powder? Because this is actually a good topic to discuss as well. Baby powder. Tachyon powder, I believe, is what they used to call it, or calcium powder, one of those two things. I was fearful of that truck. That truck looked like it was going to cut me off, and an inner New Yorker was going to come out at me. So, there was an incident with baby powder, where baby powder, in particular, was giving women who used it for various different things, cancer. It was actually giving people cancer. So much so that Johnson & Johnson's, who was, like, the main contributor of baby powder, as well as there was another one, I think it was, like, by a baking soda company, if I remember, they got sued big time by people because it was many women that were getting ovarian cancer, and they had linked it to the chemicals that were used in regular baby powder, of all things. So there was that. There was an incident, too, with a different type of food coloring dye as well. Like, they're trying to get rid of yellow number 5 now, because once yellow 6 got pulled off the market, yellow 5 is, like, the next big one, because if you go to, like, I don't know if every bakery uses this, so I don't want to, like, get in trouble, so I'm going to preface this. Some bakeries have been known to use yellow 5 for their cookies to make, like, particularly the butter cookies look a little bit more yellow, very similar to the yellow line that you see here in an American Truck Simulator GPS thing. So they try to get their cookies to look very unnaturally yellow. Like, if you bake regular cookies at home, you'll notice they're a little bit more of a beige color. Ooh, ovarian cancer is really aggressive. Yes, ovarian cancer was very, very, very super aggressive cancer, and they had linked it to baby powder. You know, I'll tell the story here a little bit. So, my mom is from a much older generation, right? So, my mom is from a time period where the cooking norms in America were much different. So, like, back then, people didn't cook with, what's the oil that a lot of people use now? Canola oil, or sunflower oil, or olive oil, or peanut butter oil, I think is another one. So what they used to do when my mom was very, very young is they used to cook with literally lard. So I don't know how many people have ever heard of a brand by the name of Crisco. I don't think they sell this product anymore because I think they had to take it off the market because of apparently saturated fat, and laws had changed quite a bit. But Crisco used to sell lard, actual physical lard. So you would get it in this can, as Mama Dread had told me many times. And you would take, like, this weird white substance out of this can that was, like, lard, actual animal fat lard, and you would throw it in the frying pan that you're cooking, or you would put it in the, I don't know, rice, and you would put it in different things. And there was a generation, 2 or 3 generations of people who were doing this, and they lived, this is the crazy part, they lived to be 90 and 100. And I know people, may they rest in peace, that are from the generation that cooked with, like, canola oil, and cooked with sunflower oil, and vegetable oil, which I think they don't really use vegetable oil too much more. Like, I cook with canola oil, but I prefer cooking with olive oil in general when I cook steaks. And what ended up happening is, what's kind of astounding is all these people that I know that, what happened here? It looks like there's some major car accident. Hopefully I have the right of way and nobody, like, crashes the truck. But yeah, so what ended up happening is, like, a lot of my friends and people I knew from my time period ended up, like, getting cancer or having, like, heart diseases and everything from cooking more healthy. So it really raises questions as to how safe some of the products that we actually use in concurrent cooking are for consumption, you know, just like with the processed foods. Because, like, I love sandwiches, don't get me wrong, I'll eat a sandwich for dinner. You give me a sandwich for breakfast, you give me Mike's Jersey subs, and I will eat that, you know what, as much as possible when possible. But even those type of foods are kind of dangerous, like, to consume, because it's obviously processed and stuff. So it's kind of funny how older generations that cooked with actual lard lived to be 100, and people that are, you know, allegedly eating a little bit more healthier and a little bit more conscious are dropping dead of heart disease and getting more cancer and stuff. Just, I thought it was, like, an interesting kind of observation, because, like, Mama Dread knew somebody who lived to be 104, and they ended up passing away, ironically, on their birthday, like the day of their birthday. They just closed their eyes, went to sleep, peaceful death, natural causes. And she used to cook with, like, all these things that would be basically, like, considered, for the most part, unhealthy. And it's just kind of crazy with some of that stuff, you know. So, like, it's interesting to see some of these lawsuits too. Like, I don't know if anybody would be comfortable with me talking about this, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard about the Jimmy Kimmel situation that's going on concurrently. So if you're not familiar with what happened, Jimmy Kimmel, who is very responsible for the Jimmy Kimmel Show, has had his show pulled off the air, apparently based on one of the jokes that he made. TDR, cook with... Oops, I just crashed the car. Cook with the smoke and you'll live 100, because those smokes also live long lives. Interesting. Good to know, good to know. I do not have a notification. If somebody just subscribed to the channel, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Much appreciated. I don't have an overlay up that tells me that notification, but thank you. Welcome to the Dread Knight Army. Okay. Yeah. But I agree. We have to pull in somewhere for gas, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, getting back to Jimmy Kimmel. So Jimmy Kimmel actually got his show pulled off the air. Apparently made a joke about recent incident that's going on. If you know, you know. Which is very, very, you know, I don't want to get super political here, but I think there's some things that you're probably better off not joking about on the news, especially when the subject is still very, very sensitive for a lot of people. So, the FTC, the reason I'm talking about this is because I want to discuss whether Jimmy Kimmel has actually a court case, whoever he can sue or not. In regards to it, he said something about the incident that happened recently to a political YouTuber, you know, the one most likely if you've been following in the news, and ABC decided to pull his show off the air because the FCC, who's the head of the FCC, threatened that he was spreading misinformation with what he was saying, and that would basically be violation of the broadcast license. that ABC has. Now, I will tell you, it is actually true that with FCC rules, as working in the film and television industry, that somebody can particularly get in trouble if you spread misinformation on broadcast television. That is something that can happen by bylaws. I looked at the joke because I don't personally watch a lot of Jimmy Kimmel, because I'm not, like, when I watch television, I'm not really big on, like, a lot of the political type of stuff that is going on, just because, like, if I've had a very long day, the last thing I really want to do is, like, tune in television and hear, like, politics of right, left versus right. That's just kind of how I feel personally. I know that people feel a little bit differently in retrospect to that, and, you know, like I said, I am somewhere in the middle where I respect both sides' opinions. I don't always agree with one or the other, as the preface there. So Jimmy Kimmel now, like, they're talking on the news, if Jimmy Kimmel would be able to sue ABC, who was the one that were the people that made the decision as to whether his show could stay on the air or not, and the FCC. And it's a very, very interesting subject, because for all intents and purposes, he cannot sue the FCC because that's the actual bylaw that's in the FCC. He can't do that. It would be bad. He probably wouldn't win that court case. However, he could say, because if the Rolling Stone argument is actually true that they posted, that ABC studio themselves and the executives didn't want to actually pull his show from the air. And that then becomes a situation of that if your bosses didn't agree with pulling it off the air, but were in fear of some type of retaliation in regards to, like, you know, political landscape, the White House or stuff, Jimmy Kimmel could, in theory, I need to get gas, and that looks like a gas station, so I'm going to try to get some gas here before we get back on the road. I think we're running very, very, very low on gas. So, like, if he sues, yes, I know I'm running out of fuel, that's why I'm trying to get into it, but you blocked my way to turn the car now. Thanks a lot there. I'm trying to get into that thing that you just blocked, game. Can I just turn this way? Don't do this at home. Don't do this at home. Don't ever do what I just did at home, because that would be super wrong. But yeah. So, you know, with that, I don't think he personally has a court, actual court case that he could do against the FCC, but I do think he has a valid one that he might be able to do against his own company, ABC. Now, I will also preface this for those of you who... What did we hit? This is what I get for talking about things that don't concern me. Confirm. This is for all the Jimmy Kimmel fans out there that are angry talking about, like, he doesn't have necessarily a court case. But he does technically have... Man, that camera view. I need a gas station. That does not look like the gas station. I thought that little mark there was a gas station. We are in trouble if I can't find a gas station. We will not be able to make this gig, and I will lose a ton of money. But yeah, do we have to right away? We do not. I don't want to get a parking red light ticket. So I don't know what Jimmy Kimmel like. He might have a case if he sues ABC and says, like, they pulled off because of interference stuff, but I don't think with the FCC. It's interesting because nowadays, like, there's just so many lawsuits that are potentially going on. But it was interesting. The reason I brought it up is because, like, the talk about lawsuits and stuff that are going on in general. Oh, okay, we got right away here. Okay, good. I think there might be a gas station where it says Flagstaff, it looks like, and then we can hopefully get back on the road. Hopefully I don't crash this car anymore. It's coming out of my pay. So glad this is not my car. This looks like a rough part of town. Okay, let's turn here. Should have put the turn signal on. I am a jerk, confirm. Is this not a gas station? There is no gas stations around. We are screwed. We are screwed. We're gonna fail. This is what I get for talking about things that are not concerning me. Ventures. I'm hoping I can go to that repair place, maybe, and find a gas station. We need a gas station desperately. If not, we're gonna fail this mission, and it's gonna just be generally bad. You know, which is really, really unfortunate for us. So how was everybody's day, by the way? Did anybody do anything particularly interesting? Like I said before, I was on a quest for pasta as well as trying to sleep. And I'm the type of guy, like, when I can't, like, fall asleep, what I end up doing is I like to... Oh, there's a gas station. It's not that far away. Right around the turn. Is I'm the type of guy that when I'm trying to sleep, I can't sleep. What I'll do is I'll end up starting to work on things. So I started, like, to Google stuff as to 16:10 ratio versus 16:9 ratios. This is the weirdest city. Can I get away with doing this? This is probably not how you should drive in real life, just saying. Nothing interesting. Did any of these guys have work today? Better question. What is everybody gonna be eating for dinner? I have pasta. Finally, we can get gas. I just gotta slow down here. Okay, so I have to hold this button. I think we should get a full gas of tank. That would probably be the wisest decision here if we are to... Yeah. I'm gonna be having pasta because I brought the pasta here. Me. That's probably like the last day that I'm gonna be cheating for a while on like food. It's like I've been saying a couple days ago. I've been saying this on Discord. I've also was saying this on Twitch stream. Your fuel expenses are covered by your employer. Man, do I wish that was the case in IRL. How am I gonna get out of here though? Can I just like turn and go the other way? Question mark, without crashing anything? Oh, that is a garbage can there. We're gonna have to back up because I'm not trying to wreck this car anymore, or truck, any more than I necessarily have to, and I just damaged something. That's gonna come out of my pay. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I don't have a truck driving license. I didn't know. Oh my god, that's the tire. This is starting to become an unmitigated disaster. I'm so glad I'm not using my actual truck right now because I do have a... How do I get out of here? Okay, that's how I get out of here. I feel like my depth perception don't... Why are you hitting me? Oh, it's not that. Okay, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I yelled at you for no reason. It's the inner New Yorker that's coming out in me. But yeah, I was mentioning this on Discord. I do generally have been trying to eat a little bit healthier because I haven't been necessarily eating well. Like, I've been eating a lot of fast food lately, which, you know, fast food is... It's good and all, but it's not the healthiest. I'm not trying to, like, die at an early age, so to speak. So I've been trying to eat a little bit healthier, but I have not been doing very good. So I'm gonna have to ask the Dread Knights to hold me to being kind to my body and being better to my body, because I cooked Italian sausages. I made them, right? I ate homemade cooking Italian sausages on Monday and Tuesday of this week, because I usually, when I cook, what I like to do... Oh my goodness, that's what I get for looking at chat there. Nobody saw that. I'm not panicking. You're panicking, Dread Knights. I'm not molding, you're molding. It was his fault. He stopped short. That's right. He stopped short. That was not me. Bro, what are you doing? Trailer damage. What just happened? Bro, why are you not driving? That's gotta be a green light. What are you doing? Move it. Don't tell me I killed the driver in front of me right now. That would be bad. That would be super unfortunate. That would be absolutely terrible. Yeah, come on. There we go. He had a red light. I crashed into him. Let's strike that from the record. We're not gonna get, like, super paid for this gig. Confirmed. I miss my truck because my truck has, like, a lot more horsepower and stuff, but I get used to a new control scheme from the update. So yeah, I'm trying to eat healthier. So I had, like, Italian sausages Monday and Tuesday. Then Wednesday. This is only a 30-mile-per-hour zone. This town sucks. Confirm. I have a need for speed. I have a big need for speed right now. But what ended up happening was, like, so then I had Chick-fil-A yesterday. Then technically, I don't know, like, if I ate from an Italian, we're gonna get a red light ticket, aren't we? I drove right for the yellow, so I think it should be okay. So, today then, like, Italian pasta that's from a restaurant that's, like, authentic. So hopefully that's not really processed food, so I should be generally fine. But tomorrow, Friday, I gotta make sure, as much as I love to have pizza on Fridays, I can. I'm trying to eat a little bit healthier. trying to take better care of myself, you know, because self-care is very important. I want to be able to, like, stream and make content and try to entertain people for a lot longer, right? You know? And that's the thing that I always greatly appreciate people coming out to do things here, to watch me, to vibe with me, you know? I have a lot of ideas for the channel that I want to do too. Like, for example, my model that you see now concurrently, believe it or not, doesn't necessarily look like it, but I have full 3D motion if I wanted to. It's a matter of toggling on a switch and putting on the right gear that I actually have available and access to me. So there might be at some point, I mean, it's not going to be like a 3D live concert because I wouldn't be able to necessarily do that. But one of the things I am thinking about doing is a Dread 3D live at some point. I don't know if I'm going to start with, like, doing it in VR chat because I do have the technology. That's something that I did with the model. It was definitely future-proofing, that type of stuff of that nature. But, yeah, so there will be a Dread 3D live in some point this year. I'm thinking maybe at the halfway point, I'm going to do the Dread 3D live for the channel. Another thing is, I'm going to slow down here because this truck is scaring the bejeebus out of me. Come on! Why are you slowing down? That's not even like a yield sign. What are you doing here? I gotta make it to my gig. I got like 2 hours and 12-minute destination here. I gotta do that cargo. I gotta make that delivery. I gotta feed the Dread Knights, man. Well, these Dread Knights need, like, new computers. They need their 5090 graphics cards and their AMD RTX, whatever you call them. And they need their, like, ultra widescreen computers and stuff. I'm just trying to pay the bills so that I can help all my Dread Knights here, you know? That's why I took up the truck driving business, you could say. You know, I'm just trying to. I don't know where the mama of the Dread Knights is right now. It's always been a very highly intense, debatable subject as to who the mother is of the Dread Knights, I guess you could say. You know? Just like me myself, you know? I always find it funny because, like, how many of you are into, like, really... I hope I don't get canceled for saying this because there's always cover ninjas watching me lately, but how many of you are into, like, idol culture or familiar with idol culture? Whether it's Niji Sanji, Lucid Multimedia... I don't know if Brave Entertainment is still around. What is there? There's Dreamers also. Dreamers. Which is from... I think it's V-Revere, if I remember correctly. That's where Nova Akemi is from. But, like... And also, I guess there's Hollow Live. I say that. So people are gonna get so pissed off at me. Yeah, also there's Hollow. But how many of you are, like, into, like, idol culture and of that nature? So, like... It's interesting what's going concurrently on with, like, VTuber communities in general. I don't typically watch idols. Yeah, I mean, I don't generally anymore. I just have people that are friends that do it. But it's interesting, like, there's always been this big debate when it comes to VTubers. As to how you're supposed to be as a VTuber, how you're supposed to act as a VTuber, what you're supposed to do as a VTuber, what subjects you're supposed to discuss as a VTuber, what you're supposed to do, what you can't do and stuff. And I'll be honest with you, like, I've been doing VTubing right now for, this will be, basically, I'm on year 5 of Dreadscape Gaming, and I think I've done VTubing here on this channel for the upward portion of about 4.5 years. I started with a very, very, very basic VRoid model, right? And in my journeys of VTubing, it's always been kind of interesting, like, the pressure that people put on... We are not missing that stop. I am going to back up whether these people like it or not. I know you're not supposed to do this in real life. I know that it's late at... Well, it might have been late at night. We just lost that trailer a little bit. I am breaking every law here. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Don't pay mind to... Oh, this is bad. Don't pay mind to me. I'm driving on the wrong side of the road. I don't want to have to do another turn. Don't do this in real life, please. This shows you why I'm not a very good driver. But, yeah, so, like, I've always found it interesting how people try to force people and put them in the box over here. So, for the last, like, 2 years, I've been knee-deep in idol culture. just because I have friends that are on the inside, I guess you could say, and I have people who are friends that were part of idle stuff that have left concurrently. And I just kind of find it interesting that now there's like a big distinction as to modern VTubers and idle VTuber. Because I was looking at, I don't know if any of you can see it here, but if you put in YouTube X in, like, I don't know if it works for live chat, but I know it works for the comment section. There's a thing that YouTube has rolled out lately, which is called YouTube Ask. YouTube Ask is apparently powered by, I guess, like a YouTube AI type of algorithm. So YouTube has been getting into like the whole AI business stuff. So if you put what type a VTuber Dreadscape Gaming is into YouTube Ask, as I did it actually the other day myself, you'd be surprised as to what it says. YouTube Ask apparently considers me a non-traditional VTuber. That is in the modern VTuber style, which means I am a VTuber that basically just uses the VTuber presence to be a streamer. So for all intents and purposes, instead of like me being labeled a virtual YouTuber, people consider me a virtual streamer, which is closer, I guess you could say, to how people in, well, they're no longer part of VShojo because VShojo had their epic collapse. But VShojo, you know, was kind of like that, where, you know, it was people who were streaming with VTuber models, but they weren't, like, really high into their lore, and they weren't into... So, the reason I brought that up is because lately, like, when I was announcing that I was going to return to both YouTube and doing Twitch content, and just, like, coming back and doing VTubing again, I was met with a, believe it or not, a lot of people would be surprised to hear this, a lot of contention for coming back, because there are people, I'm not going to name names, but there are people in the VTuber community that do not like VTubers just doing stuff as streaming. There's people who must do lore. How dare you not have lore? You, God forbid, you mention stuff like New York City, which is taboo, right? Like, people will be like, so how dare this VTuber mention he lives in New York City? But I try to do things a little bit of a more non-traditional way. And it's interesting. It's interesting because I don't... Here's the thing about VTubing that I've always found interesting in general. VTubing and the VTuber community always wants more people to watch the community in general, right? And this is not a dig at the VTuber community whatsoever. This is just me analyzing it as through my experiences as a male VTuber, as well as my experiences just making content on different platforms as a VTuber for the last couple of years. 5 years making content on this channel, and then, as some people know, like a Nerdig, I also have a nerd channel that I don't really show off. That is my first channel, which has a much higher, believe it or not, viewership base. And I do a lot of retro video games on the channel. I do like NES speedruns as well as stuff. It's a non-commentary channel, so I just post like gameplay and there's no commentary whatsoever, which is like frowned upon now on YouTube, which is why I don't do as much of it anymore, because game companies, particularly Nintendo, which Nintendo wants to sue just about anybody in this day and age. But with it, I do like gameplay videos where it's no audio commentary. But in 5 years that I've done it, like, there's always, what I've noticed is VTuber community has always wanted more people to watch the VTuber community, and they want more people to get into VTubing. And then what ends up happening is people who are not necessarily a part of idol culture, who didn't necessarily get into VTubing because of the idol culture, who don't watch like Hollow or Ninja Sanji, whether it's the EN branch or the Japanese branch, we're doing 70 in a 65. I don't want a ticket, so we are not going to do that. So I found it interesting that people want more people to like actually become VTubers and stuff. And then when people actually do become VTubers, and they do it whether it's like a Vroid model, which sometimes people don't really like. I like Vroid models because in general it gives me more 3D movement, and I just generally prefer the look of it, and I prefer like the customization options. We're about to make this delivery. We're going to be able to eat Dread Knights. Finally, we're going to be able to make some bacon. Bacon's so freaking expensive, actually, in the supermarkets. Ooh, new area unlocked, too. Will I get a ticket for turning cure? I do not. Okay. Did we make our destination? And we didn't make it technically in one piece, though, right? Okay. Where are we parking this? Where are we parking this? Where are we parking this? Oh, that turn's gonna scare me. This is like the most narrow turn that I could possibly make right now, Dread Knights. Here we go. Here we go. Did we do it? Ah, where do you need it? We're gonna play it safe. No. We're not in that much of a hurry, right? Let's try to park it. Let's not be a wussy right now. Oh, I'm stuck. Maybe I should have been a wussy. Maybe that's what I should have. But yeah, like I was saying though, it's interesting. I don't know if we're going to be able to make this. I'm going to do third-person view here, which is not true simulator. You know what? Let's just play it safe, because we're not going to make that. We're not going to make that. Okay, good work. We got free stars for that. We made some money. We made some money. It wasn't a whole bunch of money, but it was some stuff. So yeah, I found it quite interesting in terms of like idol culture and what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. And like I think about it, and I always see like these controversies right now with, oh, you pick up a skill, cool. What's my skill? We could drive longer distances, high value cargo, fragile cargo, just fuel economy. I want to make more money, so I'm gonna invest in this for skill point. Okay, I'm gonna take a nerd job. I think we have enough time to do that. In general, I think we should be particularly. Let's see, I'm gonna do a quick job. So, I'm gonna take a quick job from here. Let's see. We're gonna take the 5-hour gig in this particular situation. Yeah, we're gonna take the 5-hour gig, and that'll be the last gig that we do for the day. Hopefully that'll be fine. So yeah, you know, if it comes to VTubing too, I find it interesting how much, like, gatekeeping it has been, kind of, lately too. Because I don't know how any of you feel with this, but, like, did anybody remember when Iron Mouse gave a popular streamer a VTuber model? And they decided, like, they were gonna... It was done as a joke, because it was, like, a real joke type of situation. Let's put those lights on so I actually see where I was going here. This is a weird turn. How do I get out of here without, like, crashing the car? That's the most important golden rule here. We already screwed this up? Oh, the gate opens. Okay, I didn't know that the gate actually opened there, so I was, like, actually fearing for my life. But yeah, so Iron Mouse gave one of their buddies... Why are you opening the gate so slow, buddy? You're trying to sabotage this run already? Yeah, so she gave, like, a popular streamer. I don't remember the streamer's name because it's not a person I generally watch. Like, a very, very popular streamer. I don't know if it was Ludwig. I think it was Ludwig. A actual VTuber model to use. And it was part of, like, a joke. And the VTuber community were in an outrage because they said, and this is not my words, this is the words of them, that how dare an outsider, a tourist, as they put it, was doing a VTuber model stuff. I remember when Pokimane, I don't know how people feel about her, I'm not really a big fan of her type of stuff that she does, but no disrespect to her, she makes her money. Red light violation, that's what I get for talking about Pokimane. I will pay that $700 fine, right? But yeah, when it came to Pokimane, she had a model that she had made because she wanted to try to do, like, Lily Pichu. And she just wanted to do stuff as a VTuber, because there's sometimes where people just, they want to get on camera, you know? And that's the truth. I have friends from various different walks of life that say they don't want to, you know, have to do their hair, have to put on makeup, have to, like, wear something that's not their pajamas to make content. So for them, the reason why they use a VTuber model is because it's more accessible for them, right? It makes it easier for them to be able to stream without having to worry about the physical presence. And when it came to that, one of the things that I've noticed is, like, when it comes to the VTuber community, they will say they want more people to respect the art form of it, and they want more people to do it, but they want to do it. They want them to do it how they want them to do it. And, like, if you're somebody that's a content creator, I gotta park here because if not, I'll get another red ticket for red light violation. $700 for red light violation is not what I'm trying to do today, Dread Knights. So yeah, so when it comes to that type of stuff, it's like, how do you want the VTuber community to grow if you're not allowing people who are like big name streamers to like have a VTuber model that they want to use every so often? If you want the VTuber community to grow, why is it that every time like a new VTuber comes into the scene and tries to do things, whether it's a V-Roid, or whether it's a live 2D model, or whether the design's not something, or whether they do lore, or they don't do lore, or they do this, or they don't do that, why is it always that people want to, like, cancel and force people out of this community? I have had friends, actual IRL friends, that play, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Card games hardcore, and play, like, actual first-person shooters that have a much bigger reach than I do, even. Dread Knights. And they themselves said they always wanted to try to do VTubing. And the reason why they don't do VTubing is because they see how sometimes the community will act towards people that are just trying to get into it, that are just trying to start up, that are just trying to, do it like part-time. And they'll say tourist, or they'll be like, how dare you not do it because you're not doing it the way that the idol culture does it. And the reason I go full circle with this is, like, the last 2 years when I was doing, VTubing, and I was going through some of the computer issues that I had, which is why I really didn't do much of live streaming, and I did more, like, pre-recorded content because I didn't know how, like, really set things up, and the technology I was using just wasn't... I was going to run into a red light, and I was going to mold. One of the reasons why I didn't really do it so much, in part, was because of computer issues. On top of that, just... I like to do things a certain way. And the last 2 years, I felt like, particularly when it came to, like, the idol culture aspect of it, like, I was trying to be... How's that a red light violation? I was just putting my hand on the gas a little bit. Apparently, California is very big fans of idol culture, Dread Knights, because look at that. Look at that. They want to give me a red light. I put my foot on the gas. I didn't even cross the line. I didn't cross the line. But yeah, like, so for me, when I was making content, like, people are like, you have to be more idol-like. You have to be more traditional. Why don't you have lore? Why don't you do this? And I'm just thinking back on those experiences for the last 2 years. And then thinking, like, that's kind of why then people say the things that they do say, that are, regular people that watch content creators, and then, like, this is why I can't with VTubers. Because you hear that all the time, right? That's, like, something... a lot of people hear, like, this is why I can't with VTubers, this is why I can't with them, this is why VTubers are so cringe, this is why... It's my, like, little, average viewer type of thing. And you start to think it, and it's like, sometimes I feel like it's so gatekeepy, and it does, like, more harm than good. And that's so unfortunate for it, Because I've been trying to get, like, friends of mine to, like, try out VTubing, because I think they would have, like, a lot of fun doing it. And just in the overall presentation, but a lot of their hesitation with it as well has been just like, they just kind of want to do it like how I do it. They just want to be able to talk about their day. They want to be able to talk about whatever topic they feel like talking about without, like, God forbid, getting canceled, because they want to talk about, like, what's going on concurrently on the world or stuff of that nature, so it's interesting, the landscape, how things are. And it's unfortunate, like, I was on Twitter. I try to stay off of VTuber Twitter in particular, and a lot of people have known, a lot of people have heard my disdain over the last couple of years for, like, VTuber Twitter, because I feel like VTuber Twitter, or I guess technically now it's considered VTuber X, is a very, very toxic place to spend a lot of your time on, because there's always somebody that's trying to cancel somebody, there's always somebody that's trying to put, like, a Google document out to try to cancel another person. So the reason I'm bringing that up in particular is I was looking at VTuber Twitter because I had to make a post that I was going live on YouTube. And when I made the post, I noticed that people were talking about Cinder again. And I'm looking and I'm like, I don't think Cinder has mentioned anything as of late, in particular anything that's going on with her. And I noticed, like, people are trying to cancel, I guess, Cinder again for whatever happened. I don't know what happened. And it's like, man, I can't go on VTuber Twitter just to make, like, a regular YouTube post without VTuber Twitter trying to, like, cancel something right away. I think we're gonna try to make a turn here if we can. If I can get, like, a quick amount of gas, so we just have a full tank so that I can actually do this gig just fine and properly. I'm hoping. Because I feel like that's the play to do here, because remember the last job gig that I did? We didn't do that, and I paid the price royally for it. Nope, I'm not going to crash that car. I'm definitely not going to crash that car. I would just, like, mold quite a bit if I did that stuff of that nature. I should probably not honk my horn. So how many of you in chat, Dread Knights, are drivers? Do you like driving? What do you think is fun about driving? What do you hate about driving? What do you find is stressful about driving? Do you not like to drive? Based on this, I have a lot of work to do if I want to get my driver's license. A lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. I'm gonna get gas here, that's why I did that. That's what I was planning to do. Let's slow park it here. Stop engine. Okay. Let's fill up the gas lights here. Okay, good. Good. You can't see this, but I have a brand new laptop, and this laptop, the ROG Strix G16, the game that I'm playing actually reacts to my lights on my keyboard. So, like, whenever I drive, whenever I stop for gas, whenever I do something in the game, it actually, my keyboard lights respond to it. So, like, when I got the gas, the white lights came on, and then it started flashing green. It's such a cool feature. It's such a cool feature because I've never seen that on an actual laptop. Another Big says, absolutely hate driving personally. That's interesting. Interesting. What aspects about driving do you not like, Anurbig? What personally are you not a big fan of when it comes to driving? Anybody know whether I can turn this light? Because I think I have the green light, right? I don't think I'm gonna get, like, an actual parking ticket, I hope. Or not parking ticket, red light ticket. Okay. See, I'm learning. I'm learning a little bit. Like, I would assume, like, driving, like, here in New York City, I've seen, like, nightmare gridlock, and I've been in cars with, like, nightmare gridlock, and for me, who, just in this game, how did I get 2% trailer damage there? That's not fair, man. I don't think I hit into anything. Maybe a car crashed into me or something. But, like, for me, particularly, I'm just, like, I see gridlock traffic, and I see, like, slow cars moving, and I feel like I have a need for speed, and that, particularly to me, it just doesn't seem like it would be very fun to deal with. Another thing for me, particularly, that I don't think is great is parallel parking. Parallel parking. Hold that for a second. I just want to make sure that we're still live for a second, because my phone looks like it needs to reload. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, we're Gucci. We're Gucci, fam. I just want to make sure. Because I saw, like, something else on my phone trying to load something. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Okay, we're good. I gotta make this turn. But, like, for me, particularly, like, dealing with traffic doesn't seem like it would be fun. Dealing with some of the other nature of it, just, like, parallel parking. Parallel park, I'm in the long lane. I'm gonna get killed here. Like, parallel parking for me in particular doesn't seem like something I would really like to do. Are people driving crazy? One car door doesn't work because a woman... I don't know what that says about me 2 years ago. Let me pick up my phone here so I can read this correctly before we go. Are people driving crazy? One car door doesn't work because a woman T-boned me about 2 years ago. I was going 3 miles per hour in a parking lot. Wow, that's freaking insane, man. At first, when I was reading that chat, I was like, a woman that boned me. I didn't see the T-bone part. I was like, wow. I was about to say, Big, you can't upset them. You can't upset them. If you upset them, that's what's gonna happen. You can't, like, do that and not call them the next day. That's bad. That's bad. I'm just joking, though. I digress. I had to make a phony. Oh, that's what I get for making that joke. That's what I get for making that joke. Hey, I have the right of way. Stop. I have the right of way. He's trying to ruin my career. Hopefully I can drive this just this way? Okay. Great. That car was trying to ruin my career, confirmed. That's terrible. That one of your car doors doesn't work because a woman T-boned into you in a parking lot with 3 miles per hour. That would piss me off. See, here in New York City, if you do something like that, you would see, like, how it is in the movies where the person would get out of the car and would start screaming at the person, or probably, like, challenge them to fisticuffs. Is that the fancy thing we say in this day and age now, fisticuffs? If not, can we bring that back? When we have disagreements with people and we're gonna get physical, can we just say, I challenge thee to fisticuffs? That would be cool. I mean, I think it would be cool. Not the actual violent part, but just the fact of, like, taking it back to the old days. You know what? Maybe not so cool, but... Like, another aspect of driving, particularly from this game, I wonder, like, the GPS thing, too. Like, if you're looking at my screen right now, oh, you can't see my GPS because it's blocking the model. I didn't realize that. I probably should have put myself on the other side. It happened right before Christmas. Fun times. Yeah, Merry Christmas, man. You know what happened before Christmas to me? My laptop. Not this one. The previous laptop that I had. That's when my boot up issues started, because that was around the time that they forced everybody into the Windows 11 24 H2 update. I don't know how I'm going to be able to turn here, because it doesn't look like I have. That looks like the DLC is blocking it. I could only go through that area if I had the DLC, so how am I supposed to drive around here? I have to drive back out and around the highway just because I got gas? Well, I'm taking the red light violation here. I don't care. I don't care because I'm going to have to drive up and around again. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. It's very, very crazy. Alright. Let's do this turn. Like, imagine that. For Christmas, you're just driving, chilling, minding your business. I think we missed this turn, which is why I'm having the problems that I'm having with it. Hopefully, I gotta make this turn really quickly. Don't crash into that car. I just saw this car's life, or truck's life, flash before I... It happened right before Christmas. No, I already read that, I'm sorry. Oh, not as sorry as damaging the car there. That's what I get for not keeping my eye on the road. Right? Okay. Okay, I'm not panicking, I'm not molding, I'm not molding, I'm not molding, I'm not molding. You're molding. Okay, great. Great, great. I better put the lights on right now. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. How do I get out of here? I don't know. This is why I'm not a driver in real life. I can't read this GPS to figure out how I get out of here, because this is like a DLC part that I don't have. Which is, that's incredibly scary to me. Let's slow down a bit. Let's slow down if we can. Alright, alright, alright. So now I have to make a nerd turn. But that says DLC for it. That says DLC for it. Okay. I'm not panicking. I'm not panicking. Thank you, whoever that was, for the subscription. I'm sorry. I just broke a stop sign. Look. I just broke a stop sign. I just broke, this is what I get. This is why they tell you eyes on the road. I will never pass my driver's permit test, learner's permit or something at this rate. This is why, oh my goodness, the trailer. Oh, we're gonna fail this mission terribly, man. I am trying with first-person view just to, like, not knock down this light post here, because that would be bad. Just bear with me. Thank you for the subscription. I do greatly appreciate that if there's a subscription. You must like my epic fails in this car thing. Okay, okay, okay. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. I'm not panicking. I'm not panicking, Dread Knights. You're panicking. I'm not panicking. You're panicking. I'm not panicking. You're panicking. I'm panicking. I'm panicking. I'm panicking. I'm molding. I'm molding right now. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. We're cool. We're cool. We're cool. Are we good? I don't know if we're good. I don't know if we're good. You're not gonna tell the authorities that I got my driver's license for this game in a video game, right? Please don't tattle on me. You know what they say about that. Snitches end up in stitches, right? Okay, okay, okay. We're alright. We're okay. We're okay. We're alright. Calm down, everybody. We just gotta take a deep breath here. We just gotta take a deep breath. We just gotta relax. I want to make sure that I don't have to drive through there. Just gotta relax. We just gotta not suck at driving. We just gotta not suck. Not suck, not suck, not suck. That's all we gotta do. Let's obey the traffic law here. Okay. So it looks like there's a very sharp-ish turn that I have to do here. Which looks like it's... Did I get caught on the same light again that I did before? I did. I did. How? Oh, man. Can we just power our way through here? Oh, this is gonna be an unmitigated disaster. Let's try to drive through. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is bad. This is so bad. This is so bad. This is unfortunate. I don't want to have to call AAA to get out of here. Oh, man. We are so caught on this light post. This is why, you know, I don't drive in real life. Oh, no, that's lovely. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause that car accident. Hi, I'm new. Hi, I'm new. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Man, we are so getting fired for this job. We are so getting fired. Okay. Does this make sense to you? It looks like I have to drive through here to get back on the highway, and that was the problem. And I just passed through a red light. Okay. Alright, that looks kind of like how we do it. I'm hoping. The GPS was not very wise as to how... I think we're going to fail this mission quite a bit. Can I turn around and drive the other way? I probably can't do that. I should probably listen to my GPS. We're probably going to fail the mission badly. Oh, I think I'm going the wrong way. Can I hide through that? Can I cheat the system here? Am I driving on the wrong side of the road? I don't even know, man. I think we made a mistake here. I don't know if we have enough space to fix our mistake here. I don't think so. I think we're done. I think I'm driving the wrong way. And there's no way to turn. Wrong way violation. Oh, good job, me. Anything that could happen that goes wrong here has. Let's just pretend we never did this, okay? Let's just pretend. This is an unmitigated disaster right now. I think the car's actually stuck down. What happened? Oh, they're coming to get me. The authorities are definitely coming to get me. I am in trouble. I don't think I can drive out. I think we're done. I don't think I can... I think I'm literally stuck. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. I think we can fix this. Oh, this is terrible, man. Why was I driving like this? Why didn't anybody tell me not to do this? Why didn't anybody tell... Tread Knights, you should have told me I was driving the wrong way all that time. I don't know if we can do this. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my best here. But I think we're done. I think we're definitely done. I think this mission's failed. I don't know how we can fix this. I'm gonna try to drive... It's a bush! I can't drive through the bush. Oh, come on, bros. This is so unfortunate. Come on. What am I stuck on? Besides stupid at the moment. That's the only thing I can think of. What are we stuck on? Oh no. Oh no. I'm so stuck and I can't get out. I'm gonna try to drive in reverse to fix this. But it's not looking too promising. I'm gonna try. 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 I'm trying. I'm trying. Okay, stop. I'm gonna use this third person view. But maybe... We're so getting fired for this. I think... Ah, man. Ah, man. I don't think there's a way out of here. I think we're screwed. RIP is right. RIP is right. There's nothing we can do. I think we're done. I think we're royally done. I don't think there's anything I can do to get out of here. I I I think it's over. Usually I say, do you believe in me the way that I believe in you? I didn't know we were going the wrong way. The GPS. It's the damn GPS's fault at this point. Check engine. Check engine. Check engine. We were done. We have failed. We have failed. How do I get out of this mission? How do I abandon? We've embarrassed ourselves. We embarrassed ourselves big time. Can I call for assistance? Just lights? Just seats? No, I don't want that. I'm trying to see how I can call for help here. Because we're in a bad spot right now. We're in a very bad spot. Like, I can't. Let's see if I can call for help. Let's see. If I can't do this, we're screwed. F7, I think, is the button I gotta hit. I don't... I think... Why is there not, like, an easy way to do this? Okay. Can I not do that? I have to... See, that's the thing. The controls are very intuitive, too. So... Can I... A? Let's just tow. I think we failed that mission, confirmed, Dread Knights. I think we totally failed that. Truck service. That's coming out of our pay. Confirm. I don't know if we're going to be able to continue this mission. Nope. Hopefully we can do this. We're probably in big trouble for that. Where's my GPS, man? Gabe, what are you doing to me? The controls on controller are so terrible, man. I have no GPS. How do you expect me to do this with no GPS, Gabe? Come on, man. I think F6. Where's my F6 button? There we go. Back to GPS. Don't play this game on controller, confirm. Okay. I'm not panicking. I might be panicking a little bit. I don't want those windshield wipers on. The railgun is merely a temporary obstacle. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, buddy. I don't know about that. I wish I could. I wish I could say that's the case, but it's over for us. We're gonna get fired from this gig. We ruined that truck. I could get back on the road, dude. That's the worst part, man. That truly is terrible. I guess we're gonna try to finish this up, get this objective done. After we get this objective done, then I'll bid fond farewell. So, if you wanted ever Dread on a live stream doing overtime, that's what I get for looking at chat. This is the stream for you guys. I do hope to do more live stream YouTube content in the future. It's kind of like building my confidence back up too, because it's been a while since I've had to like do stuff in a live environment, which is always quite funny. I should probably not get the speed limit done here. Just saying. Just saying. Do we have to start all the way back from the beginning? Because that would kind of suck too. All right. How are we doing this? Okay, turn. I got a red light violation. We have lost so much money in this gig. We are so getting fired. This is just... It's hilarious. This is comedy at its finest right now. Alright, I think we're technically... Why is that... No! Oh, stupid UI. That could have been... Don't tell your mom that I almost crashed the car again. Alright. Please? I'm trying to turn off, like, the turn signals that keep making the noise. They're, like... Why is that constantly making that ticking sound? It is driving me batty right now. Driving me batty. Why is the windshield wipers on? I think my turn signals are broken. So I'm just gonna be turning till the end of this, apparently. Well, that's fun. That's just great. Okay, let's continue to drive here. Alright, sweet. Let's see if we can get this actually back on the road and get everything back on track. I'm so sorry. I've proven that I am a terrible driver 100% this thing. On top of that, I'm not used to, like, really this truck in particular. It's not been handling the greatest, you could say. It's definitely been a work in progress, one could say. On top of that, having to obey the rules of the road, too. Like, 35 miles per hour on this. You know how long it's going to take us to get to our destination at this point? Quite a bit. Quite a bit. And the thing about it is, I think, like, an hour in this game is about 5 minutes real time. I have to turn this way. My turn signals are broken from the car, so it's always going to be that at this point. So that's kind of unfortunate. Alright, it's a good thing that we at least had the tow service there, because if not, it would have went really poorly for us. Our, like, simulator games I'm thinking on playing in the not-too-distant future is I'm thinking on playing, oh, what's it called? Trading card shop simulator again. Because I'm definitely want to play Trading Card Shop Simulator because there's a whole bunch of updates that are coming out for the game, which look very, very interesting from my point of view. They're going to actually have like a playable card game, and if you know anything about good old Dredd, he loves his card games quite a bit. So I'm looking forward to that. I've also been looking, although I don't think I'm going to be able to pick it up anytime soon, Water Park Simulator, because I saw Samiko Saba playing it, as well as a couple other people, and it looks like a really fun type of game, so I definitely would like to give it a try in the not too distant future. Hopefully we'll be able to actually do that. I'm not 100% sure that that will be 100% feasible. There's a lot of things. League of Legends. I'm going to hopefully try to get League of Legends set up for maybe tomorrow and try to see how that goes. And hopefully it'll go just as smooth swimmingly. We were doing 56 and a 55. How many, like, violation tickets have we gotten so far, Dread Knights? Like, I think if we were to make a drinking game out of this, not that I advocate that anybody should actually, like, do drinking, for every violation I had, we would probably get canceled. Almost 100% at this point. I cannot turn off those blinkers, unfortunately, because they apparently are broken because of how much we ruined this truck. It's a good thing this wasn't my truck, because I would have been mulliganing. I mean, I will say this much for American Truck Simulator. I'm not a big fan of the change to the control scheme as to how it was before. Just because there's certain things, like I like having my turn signals on my bumpers. I don't like having to hit the control pad to do certain things. I don't like to still have to use the computer to control, like, certain things, like turning on my lights or turning on some other things. So hopefully this is stuff that they can address, the developers, in the future for that. And if they can't, then, you know, that would be better. Look at these mountains. You know what's my problem, too? I don't keep my eye on the road. I keep looking away. I will hopefully, for the next stream, I'm going to put on Twitch chat overlay on my computer for the screen, because I'm using my phone at the moment to look at chat, because I didn't have time to set up the actual program that'll embed into the game, so I can look at the chat at the same time. So if you see me looking off to the side, that's the reason why it's happening. This is basically what California actually looks like for anybody who's never been to California. When you're driving on the roads, the mountains look exactly like this. In American Truck Simulator, you can drive through California, Arizona, and I think one other state. And then the rest of them for the states, like Texas, Oregon, Missouri. I think there's Kansas also in this game. You have to buy the actual DLC, which is... Sometimes you can get them on sale, which is good. Like, I do want to pick up some DLC packs in the future. I've been hoping that they were going to make an American Truck Simulator DLC pack for New York City, because they haven't done it yet. There's a train simulator game that has one for New York City where you can actually play the New York City subways. which I think would be kind of cool. I've been looking for a really good train simulator game too to play, because I do like the aesthetic of like railroad trains in particular, but like the ones I was looking at so far have been weird. Like there was one that was on Nintendo Switch that they were trying to sell for like $3 a couple weeks ago, and I was thinking on picking it up, but then when I was like actually looking at the actual game stats, I was trying to find some video footage for it. What ended up happening was the game was like really, really, really bad. And there's some people who have told me Train Sim World is a nerd game to play, and I've been looking at it, but it's a lot like American Truck Simulator, but way more expensive. So like you have to buy the base game, and the base game I think is like $30 or $40, but then they don't give you a whole bunch of... I'm sorry I'm pausing because I have to change the way I'm sitting. I'm starting to get a cramp, and I don't think you want Mr. Streamer to get a cramp. So I apologize for that. Hopefully this won't affect anything that we're doing. So yeah, you know, so there's been that Dread Knights looking into train simulator games. I need to go back to play Metal Gear Solid 5. Dread Knights that have been longtime viewers, how do you feel about me going back to finish Metal Gear Solid 5? I still haven't finished the story. And I feel like if I don't play it on stream, we're never going to finish the story, because I'm not going to commit to it, because I'm probably not going to have the time, personally, to be able to actually play the video game on my spare time. Because that's the thing. Also, we're going to be playing some indie games, too, in the future that I haven't played yet. So Mage Arena, which I have been talking about, I've been trying to get, like, a group going to play Mage Arena. I definitely want to play Mage Arena on stream. I would like to do Fall Guys on stream, where I just play with viewers as well. Like, this return to streaming, I've had a lot of things that I've been planning and thinking about, because I used to 35 miles per hour in this lane. I hate that. Look how slow we're gonna have to go through here. But yeah, Mage Arena Headliners, I had a lot of fun playing the Headliners, so we will play the Headliners again in the not too distant future. I want to grab people for that as well, probably for my Discord. I don't recall if I have the Discord link up, but Anerbig, are you by any chance here? If you are, can you do me a favor, bud? And can you go and put an invite link to our Discord channel up in the live chat? And I think you have the ability to do it as a mod, but could you also do me the favor? And if you're still here, can you pin that Discord link to the channel? I would be greatly appreciated. It doesn't have to be like a 24-hour link. It could be an all-time link if you want. If you're available to do that, that's cool. If not, don't worry about it too much. I can always get it for the next one, or I can always, when this video eventually becomes a pod, can pin it as well. You know, so... But there's a lot of games that I'm going to be playing. Mage Arena, Peak, Headliners, a lot of the friend slap games, as they call them, I've been looking into because they are kind of interesting. I've never really been able to play a lot of the quote-unquote friend slaps. I want to do League of Legends. League of Legends with viewers is definitely something I'm looking at. I was thinking also maybe of doing some Minecraft. I have Minecraft, however, on the Nintendo Switch. It's going to be kind of interesting and difficult to try to figure out how, like, Minecraft can connect to people who are on, like, different types of Minecraft. Like, I should probably, at some point... Well, my worlds wouldn't carry over, I think, because there's no cross saves. But I was thinking of, like, some point maybe getting Minecraft on PC. I don't know. I do want to play a wrestling game again as well. Probably it's not going to be WWE 2K25. I'm thinking in the future what we'll do is I'll do WWE 2K23. 2K23's roster has characters that are in the game that are now available in 25. In particular, Brock Lesnar, who made his comeback. I don't know how too many people feel about that. So, you know, Brock Lesnar. Obviously, there's also Edge. I don't think MC is join... Oh, I just crashed for looking at that. That's my fault. I don't think MC is joinable from two different versions. I don't know if it is or it's not. That's a very good point. I don't think Bedrock players can play with Java. Yeah. Crucy, you aren't by any chance still hanging around, are you? If you are, you know more about Minecraft than I do particularly. Do you know if Bedrock, like two people on Bedrock, can play together? I thought I saw a commercial that said that, or a video game trailer. I'm not 100% sure. But I thought like that was the point of Bedrock, was so that there would be like crossplay between systems. I'd like to do Minecraft at some point, even though I'm not very good at it. Anybody who saw some of the Max Brimstone stuff knows. I still have the world. I'm just gonna rename it from Brimstone Brigade to like Rights of Dread, though the world's built, and I think we should be fine with that. But there is a lot of things. If they're both on Bedrock, you can. Thank you, Crucy. You are a peach. So, yeah, I want to do, like, Minecraft. I want to do more, like, social experiment games. But if one on Java and the other is on Bedrock, then it's a no. Okay. Do you play on Bedrock, Crucy? Or are you playing on Java? Because I remember back in the day, like, when you were streaming. By the way, I'm just going to throw this out here. Countess Crucible used to do, I think she's on hiatus at the moment. She does do, like, Twitch streaming content. I think she also has, like, a YouTube channel, so definitely make sure you give her a follow as well, you know. Is a very, 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 very long-time member of this channel. I play on Java, so you wouldn't be able to Bedrock with me then. Yeah, Java. Because Java has, like, all the mods, if I'm not mistaken. And they have, like, some really cool mod packs. Like, I was watching, I could say this, Nimi's not gonna get mad at me. I was watching Nimi Nightmare a couple days ago, for anybody who is familiar with her content. And she's doing, like, this really interesting Minecraft experiment. So she's been playing Skyblock, right? So Skyblock apparently is you have to, like, do a Minecraft world up in the sky. And there's, like, you have to build the platform out, I think. And you have to, like, find ways to, like, make vegetation and to get, like, resources. So it's like Minecraft, but with, like, an extra hidden, expensive type of... Not so much expensive, but, like, a hidden challenge where it makes it, like, really, 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 really more difficult. And I was watching Nimi play, and I was like, wow, this is... I'm bad at Minecraft, but that looks incredibly fun to do. Bedrock has a mode, too. I think you pay for them, though. I think they'll quote me on that. Oops, I just crashed the car looking at chat. Okay. Okay. Okay, no problem. No problem, Crucy. No worries with that. It's interesting, too. Like, it's like I was talking... I know in chat, like, Dimmy was asking about this, too. Like, in Bedrock, a lot of stuff you have to pay for. So, like, you have to pay for a lot of the skins. And I remember because I used to have a version of Java way back, but it's on a computer that is, like, super broken, and I don't even remember, like, the login information for it. But, like, I had one where I didn't have to pay for any of the stuff that I got, like, in skin-wise. I guess when Xbox took over, and no disrespect to Microsoft, by the way, I have done stuff with Microsoft as well. But when it came to, like, Microsoft, I think when Microsoft took over Minecraft, things changed quite a bit for the worse. Like, I'll tell a funny story. When I had my Nintendo Switch and I got Minecraft, it was before the Bedrock Edition came out. So, the Nintendo Switch. Minecraft version. It was just like Minecraft for the Nintendo Switch. And after Minecraft for the Nintendo Switch, it was on a different platform, right? So, because I'm sounding very wordy here. When the Microsoft bought Minecraft, they decided they were going to put out the Bedrock Edition, and they forced everybody that was on the Nintendo Switch platform to Bedrock. When they forced everybody to Bedrock, I had a lot of paid DLC from the Nintendo Switch version. Because the Nintendo Switch version, you just went on the eShop, and you would purchase stuff. So I had Adventure Time, because this is something maybe not a lot of you Dread Knights know, but I am a huge fan of Adventure Time. I love Adventure Time. I've quoted Adventure Time. Finn and Jake. I've constantly quoted the episode where Finn and Jake... Finn breaks... Well, not where he gets broken up with, but Princess Bubblegum rejects him because he's too young. Insidium, I think, if I remember the name of the episode. And so I'm, like, a really big fan of Adventure Time. So I had the Adventure Time pack. I had a couple of paid-for skins. I had a couple of other things that were paid for. And when Bedrock came out, and Microsoft forced it on the Nintendo Switch players, I ended up losing about $25 worth of purchases for Minecraft. because what happened was you had to have a Microsoft account, or not a Microsoft Xbox account, right? Because you had to make one, and I made one, and then I uninstalled Minecraft for a while because sometimes I need space on my Nintendo Switch and the SD cards, because anybody that has a Nintendo Switch knows micro SD cards fill up quite a bit very quickly. Games are very, very, very big gigs for Nintendo Switch games. I'll give you an example. Rocket League, which is another game that I have where half my DLC doesn't even transfer over to the PC version, is like a 32 gig download on Nintendo Switch. So, you either have to have multiple SD cards, which I do, but even then, sometimes I run out of space. So what happened with my Minecraft on the Nintendo Switch version, when I finally had connected to a Bedrock version, is I uninstalled the game, and when I reinstalled the game, it asked me for the email account that was associated with it. I could never remember it in. I got locked out of that Bedrock account, and I lost all my DLC that I had paid for on the Nintendo Switch platform. So then I was thinking in my head, I'm like, well, that's okay, because I bought through the eShop, right? So if I simply just go to the Nintendo eShop and look through, the eShop things, the previous DLC that I had, surely I'll just be able to download it via the Nintendo eShop, and that'll be just fine. And, to my dismay, when I tried to do that, it didn't even count my Nintendo Switch purchases of the DLC anymore. So, what ended up happening was I lost $25 worth of DLC that I had for Minecraft. I had the Adventure Time world with the Adventure Time skins. I had a couple of, skins that I had purchased for skin packs. I had some freebies that the Nintendo Switch platform had given me. And when I tried to reconnect it to it, I never got them again. The other thing that's really annoying with the Nintendo Switch version of Minecraft is that, obviously, a Nintendo Switch is a platform system, right? You could take it a handheld. You could take it wherever you want to take it with you. You want to, play Minecraft on the poop chute? You can. You want to play Minecraft, in the restaurant? You take Minecraft, I don't know, to work with you. The whole point of the Nintendo Switch is to be a portable system, right? So, when you take your Minecraft with you on the Nintendo Switch platform, you cannot use your skins unless you're connected to an internet connection. Now, I will give you examples. Sometimes I am busy. Sometimes I am working on things. Sometimes I just want to pull out my Switch and I'm not near actual Wi-Fi connection, and don't want to root my phone for internet because that actually charges me money for my data plan. And what I end up doing is I can't play my skins that I actually own in the game because the Switch platform has to always connect to the internet for me to actually be able to use the skin. So even the Steve skin. And it's like a nitpick with me that I've always had this issue with it, and I've addressed it with Nintendo, and I've addressed it with Microsoft, and I've tried to address it with Mojang, and they never grant the request. So I don't understand why on the Switch platform that they have to tie everything to always being online to actually use your stuff. It never used to be like that until the Bedrock update. That's why I have such a big issue when it comes to Bedrock, because I just feel it's, what do you want to say, counterintuitive to everything. And it's just frustrating because I don't get me wrong, I've really been trying to get heavily into Minecraft because how is my trailer getting damaged? There's nobody around me. I feel like the game's just trying to cheat me out of money at this point. So, I've been really trying heavily to get into Minecraft because I know this is where you get to poke fun at Mr. Streamer. This is where you get to poke fun at Dread. I have been trying to, for years now at this point, actually see the poem in Minecraft. That end poem when you beat the end dragon? I have never beaten the end dragon in Minecraft. What ends up happening when I play Minecraft is I will build a world, and I will farm for diamonds, and I will make a diamond armor, and I will make a base or two, and whenever I get to the Nether, I always end up with these really bad Nether spawns. So that what ends up happening most of the time with the Nether spawns is I will go in, and I'm dumb, and I go in with my diamond armor and not actually even think about pre-prepping. So I don't go in with a bow and arrow. I don't go in with a shield. I don't go in with the proper resources that you're supposed to go in. And I will go into a soul sand valley, and I'll run into a ghast, and I will die. And then I will get frustrated, and then I just, like, delete the world, because it's like, well, now I gotta regrind and everything, and I'm never gonna see this poem, I'm never gonna get to the end. And, like, there have been times, it's actually happening in my current world right now that I have, the one that I showed off a little bit as Max Brimstone, as well as I've shown you guys it on the Discord, for any of you who are part of, actually, like, the Discord community I have. I've shown off, so far in that Minecraft world, which is called the Brimstone Brigade, I have gotten as far as into the Nether, and I have a Nether that's like borderlining on the forest, but also like the traditional one before they did the Nether update. So like there's a lot of lava everywhere, there's a lot of stuff, and I cannot find blazes whatsoever. And I need blazes to be able to do to make like a specific item in the game. And it's been, like, one of the most, I don't want to say frustrating, but for me, who's not, like, a very big, like, Minecrafter, and I'm just, like, trying to do this all solo, like, it's been overwhelming, because it's like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'll be honest with you, I don't know what to do, because it's like, I don't know if I have to make a different Nether portal in a different, like, Minecraft world, or not different Minecraft world, but, like, in a different biome. And then maybe I'd have better luck finding, I think they're called, like, strongholds. Don't, like, string me up because I'm not, like, up on the Minecraft lingo as much as I should be. Is that an actual car? Rick, do you see this? Do you see this? This looks weird from my point of view. It's like a bunch of cars, and they definitely didn't optimize American Truck Simulator as much as I thought they were going to. You know, so, like, I have to figure out if I'm going to have to, like, move my whole base in Minecraft in this world that I've spent, not actual 130 days, but in-game 136 days. Or if I'm just gonna, like, give up and try again in a new world. Like, I'm not in a biome that has emeralds, so it's hard to, like, actually work with the trader, too. Because, like, I have the trader that comes along, and he's like, I want buckets! And I'm like, but I have to go and farm a whole bunch of iron and stuff. I don't want to do that, because that's gonna take a lot of time. And I have to farm, like, Enderman pearls, I think. Which way am I going? Okay, so I'm supposed to be driving this way? Okay, good, because we almost took a wrong turn, and that would have sucked. After all that progress, we were probably going to be late to the delivery, because I don't know when the delivery was supposed to come. We're probably going to get like a 1 star on this mission, but it's fine. It's just to kind of shoot the, you know what, and talk and chat with all of you. Okay, good. Making good strides. But yeah, that's why I haven't really been playing Minecraft. But I hope to do more Minecraft on stream. I don't know if we'll start a new world. I don't think we'll so. I think we're just going to continue with the Brimstone game. What do you think, chat? What do you think I should do? Do you think I should continue the current Minecraft world that I'm doing and, like, suck it up? Like, another thing that I'm trying to do in the Minecraft world that I have concurrently is I'm trying to make a mob farm. And I've been looking at some YouTube tutorials as to how to do it, and I am, like, completely lost. Because it's like, you gotta build X amount of stacks high. Which way are we going? I think it's this way? Okay, because I don't want to take the wrong turn here. That would be bad. It would be extremely bad. So I'm thinking in that, you know, I'm trying to build the mob farm. The mob farm hasn't really been working out. The only things that's really been working out is I have, like, a whole bunch of diamond that I'm sitting on. I have a lot of obsidian that I'm sitting on. I'm not sure if I should move my base, because my base is bordering on a forest area and the snow area, and I built the base on the snow side of things. I don't think is necessarily a good thing. Because, like, I was trying to build, like I was saying, the mob farm. And I was seeing, like, people could drop a bucket of water and jump down and land in the water, and they would be okay, and, like, they make, like, a little, like, hole area. So I tried it, actually, in my Minecraft world, but because I have the mob farm built on the side with the snow where it's closer to my base, what ended up happening was I went and put some water. This is a funny story. You can make fun of me. It's fine. This is just to show you that I'm not, like, really great at Minecraft, so to speak, but then again, like, you know, can't be amazing at all the video games that we play, right? That's just not humanly possible, so you're gonna do the best I can with it. But in regards to building the mob farm, I was like, okay, I'm going to drop some water down into this pool area, and I'm going to jump down when I need to so that I can go get more materials, because I didn't like build the ladder, and it was pretty difficult, because if you've seen the way like mob farms are made, it's tough. Like, it's easy if you do it in creative mode, but I don't want to do it in creative mode because I'm trying to play the game, I guess, naturally, where I can still keep like the achievements on. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just being really stubborn about my Minecraft world. But you know, I did this, and I dropped the bucket down. I go to jump, and can you believe, Dread Knights, that when I jump down into the pool, because it's the snow biome, the area turned into ice, and I killed myself on the ice. Full damage into ice, one shot, died, lost a whole bunch of items, but I put most of the ones in the box that were imported. So it's made trying to make that mob farm, particularly in the snow biome, a nightmare, because I have to constantly go down to get stuff, and there's not like an easy way to do it. So then I have to take like a whole bunch of dirt to build upward, to then make some of it like an interior, I guess, working from the exterior side of things as opposed to working in the interior, because if I work in the interior, I'm gonna get caught there, and I'm like trying to drop down, and it's gonna be a nightmare to do. So it's been like troublesome, which is why I'm like, I'm not sure if I should continue to build the mob farm. Because I know, like, Mojang doesn't really like people building mob farms, too. They don't like people trying to automate stuff. They want people to, like, play the game allegedly naturally, which I guess I can understand, but there's some things, in my opinion, you know, this is just my opinion as a casual Minecraft player, that I feel like it just takes way too long to do. Like, me needing blaze rods so I can make, like, an enchantment potion stuff, but I spawn in a biome in the Nether that doesn't have any blazes whatsoever, and there's not an easy way to farm them. Makes it quite, like, I don't know, for a person who doesn't play Minecraft all the time, a bit demotivating. I don't know if anybody feels like that. Have you ever played, chat, Red Knights, a video game that you've really, really been interested in getting into, and then when you go to play the video game, you start to become overwhelmed because it just feels like you can't dedicate as much time to the game as you'd like to. So then you kind of get frustrated, and you get sad, or you get upset, and then it's like, well, I'm just gonna give up because it's pointless. I'm not gonna be able to do it. I'm pretty sure everybody here at some point in chat has had that type of situation, has felt that sort of way of a game. And it's sad. I've seen so many of my friends that have tried to play games and have quit them. I knew somebody, not currently in chat, but I know somebody who got into the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game via Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Now, I don't know if any of you don't know this, or any VOD watchers are watching the VOD, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is probably one of the most free-to-play friendly Yu-Gi-Oh! Games that you could potentially play on the internet. However, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is also one of the most unfriendly and cruel games to play on the internet, due to the fact that everybody that plays Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, in rank, as well as casual, plays nothing but metagame decks. And unfortunately, as I've mentioned before, many times when I've done previous Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel content here on the channel, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is kind of in a state where they are not following the American TCG ban list, and they're not following as well the OCG, Original Card Game Japanese ban list. So what ends up happening is we have this weird list that doesn't follow TCG rules and doesn't follow Japanese rules. So there are a lot of cards that are available in the card pool that have been banned, either in the TCG or the Japanese side of things, that are available to play. There are things that are restricted both in the Japanese and American version of Yu-Gi-Oh! That are not banned in Master Duel. So a new player comes in, and they just want to play, like, I don't know, a Blue Eyes White Dragon deck, which Blue Eyes White Dragon decks are not as bad as they used to be. They got a lot of support, but they've been power crept quite a bit, and because they were doing well for a while in Master Duel because of the Maiden of the White, as she's called, what Konami did was Konami wanted people to play the new cards, the more expensive cards, the pay-to-win cards, right? So they wanted people to buy Malice decks, and they wanted people to buy Ryziel decks, and they wanted, you know, people to pay for the newer stuff. So because Blue Eyes was winning nothing but all the major Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments that they have, which are called Challenger Cups for people who don't know this, and it was also winning like the Duelist Cup, doing very well as rank. It was considered a top deck. They decided to restrict cards from the Blue Eyes deck. It has never been restricted in the American format or the Japanese format in both of the trading card games. So they were hating on Blue Eyes big time, which upset me because Blue Eyes was a really good deck, and it was going to get power crept by those decks anyway, even without the restrictions. So what ended up happening is, you know, you take like a Blue Eyes White Dragon deck, or you take one of the many starter decks that are available, like Cyber Dragons, or Raid Raptors that came out, or Black Wings, which is probably one of the better decks that you can get on the free-to-play format. Like, if you just want to, like, try to make a usable deck, or you try to play, what's another good deck? Another really good deck, believe it or not, that you can play in Master Duel right now, that's in the free-to-play model, is Galaxy Eyes, because Galaxy Eyes has a lot of decent support as well. But what ends up happening is there's just a lot of people that try to get into the game, and they can't get into the game because the starter decks that they offer are just not as strong, or they'll jump into rank and they will run into that Malice deck that's like tier 0 format, or they'll run into that Ryziel deck. And I'm part of the problem because when I play Master Duel at this point, I'm only really playing either Ryziel or Malice because I know that's what I'm going to go against most of the time, and it's not really like fun for people. Like, the other thing too is like it sucks, which is why I don't play as much Master Duel content anymore too, is because I always want to play a Master Duel like fun deck. So I like to play Blue Eyes White Dragon decks in like casual. I like to play Cyber Dragons in casual. I've done it. I for a while was playing Branded, which is like a super expensive casual fun deck, and then I had to stop playing it because I needed the resources to be able to build Malice and Ryziel. So it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, I had friends that were going to try to play it, and they play for like a stream or two, and then they gave up because the game is like, even though you can get any deck you want basically for the free-to-play model, if you like log into events and play regularly, it's not fun for like a new player coming in that doesn't understand a lot of what's going on in regards to like the metagame standard of it. And people get frustrated and they quit. So I knew somebody that was pretty big that played Master Duel, got overwhelmed, and then decided that was it for them and they weren't going to play anymore. And that kind of sucks because, like, I don't know how many of you in chat are probably up on TCG talk and discussions of this nature, but Yu-Gi-Oh! The card game in general, as well as the OCG, has seen a significant decline in the player base. In fact, where I am here in New York City, the majority of the hobby shops don't even have a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament anymore, a physical Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game tournament that you can play in anymore. I have a local that's very close to me, and they've completely abandoned Yu-Gi-Oh! As a trading card game because they say that nobody's coming to locals because it's very expensive to make an actual physical deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, because like on average, if you want to make a good Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck where you can like hang with some of the players and do well, yes, you are right, Countess Crucible, because everybody is tryharding. I was actually talking about this in Discord, that now I feel like when streaming culture started in general, and esports culture started in general, people stopped trying to have fun. And now it's like, because everybody's always worried about like the actual end results, that's what, you know, causes many of the problems. So, like, with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game right now, a lot of people in my neighborhood here in New York City, and the tournament stores themselves don't carry it. They're not carrying it because they say that the turnout is very low. People come to the... We gotta back up there. I was speeding way too much there. So, it gets people upset. Like, the tournament organizers don't want to do it because, like, people come to the tournament and then it's like only 3 or 4 people are playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Because most of the people that used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't want to play anymore because it takes... If you want a good Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck, you have to spend about $1,000 or $500 in this current format to play Yu-Gi-Oh! In a tournament-winning deck. If you take a regular deck, like let's say you just get the free starter decks for the Blue Eyes White Dragon, I forgot exactly the name of the structure deck, and you don't have like Primite Dragons, which Primite Dragons and their stuff costs like... Those playsets are like $200. that you need. So even a Blue Eyes deck costs you $500 if you want to play it like competitively to have all the pieces and the extra deck and everything. So what's happened is Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game has created this situation where cards are not accessible to a lot of people to play the game. And then on top of that, because of the way the format is, where, as Countess Crucible just brought up, everybody's tryharding, so you have people playing only meta decks, which means you have people that are just opening and literally wailing. In real life, they're wailing to, like, just have the decks to pay to win. It's caused a situation where nobody really wants to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore. And the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game has seen a significant dip in sales and a significant decline in user activity. In fact, a lot of people now will just play Yu-Gi-Oh! Via Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. And it's a shame because I've been with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game for a long time. I've judged the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. I've been a judge. I've worked under Julia Heidberg, who was the head judge for Yu-Gi-Oh! I think she still does it. You know, I've met the guy who's in control of, like, how the actual card releases are, by the name of Kevin Tewart. And I've seen the game thrive. I've seen when people were having fun and locals were popping. And now, like, I don't want to say Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dying, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dying. People have been trying to, like, put a spin on it and saying it's not. That, and I don't know how to pendulum and link summon. Well, believe it or not, Crucy, right now, link summon is, like, the most broken thing you can do. Malice in Master Duel, like, that's tier 0, and all it is link summoning a whole bunch of monsters. And, like, flooding the gate so that your opponent doesn't even get a turn to play, which, if that doesn't sound fun to anybody, right? I mean, it's not fun to me, at least, and I play that game. And yeah, you know, like, the best thing you can play for Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, and I'll be honest with everybody, is, like, if you want to have fun in Yu-Gi-Oh!, you have to go play Duel Links, if you're trying for Simulator. Because if you play Rush Duel format at this point is... This is telling me to get gas. I don't need gas. I just need to get to the objective here. Okay. The best thing you can do for Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game right now, if you want to play, like, digitally, is you have to play Duel Links. Because Duel Links has Rush Duel format. And in Rush Duel format, it's the closest you can get to Boomer Yu-Gi-Oh! The only mechanics that are available in Rush Duel right now is fusion summoning and ritual summoning. And there's tribute summoning. There's no link summoning. There's no pendulum summoning. There's no synchro summoning. I think the worst thing that ever happened, personally, in my opinion, to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game was the introduction of synchro summons. Because when they introduced synchro summons to the game, that's when floodgate metas started to become prevalent. I remember saying this to friends too. I'm like, if they keep bringing out broken synchro summons and they don't ban stuff from synchro summons, this is just going to become floodgate meta, and it's going to eventually devolve into where you're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore, you're just playing Special Summon Fest. Years later, I was correct. And it's unfortunate that that's the case, but that's the case with modern day Yu-Gi-Oh! Unloading area. We are not going to do that. Alright. We got a satisfactory job. I think we were a little bit late to the gig, but that's fine. It was good enough. I tolerate synchro summons. Synchro summons are okay. They're a pretty fun... They're a pretty fun format, to say the very least. I am not going to do more ATS at this moment. I'm going to take us into just chatting. And we'll chat for a tiny little bit where I can see that. I think we had fun in American Truck Simulator. Very good game. Fun game if you ever want to try it out for yourself. It goes on sale quite frequently. With the... What is it called? Steam sales. Usually whenever it's Christmas time. Usually whenever it's holiday season time. Usually whenever it's a certain amount of time. That is when things are really, truly popping in this game. You can get the game for like $5. So, like I was mentioning before to people, I mentioned this the day that I started coming back to streaming content as well here on YouTube. I have a specific plan as to how I'm doing content here on the channel concurrently. So, I'm doing like one day on YouTube, one day on Twitch, one day on YouTube, one day on Twitch, because I'm trying to like broaden my horizons and trying to see which format is the best format to do, like, in terms of streaming content, so that, like, what's better for me in terms of stuff. So I think tomorrow I'm looking at doing maybe another Twitch. I'm gonna do a Twitch stream. I'm thinking maybe I might try to play some League of Legends if I can get it installed in enough time. If not, what I'm gonna probably do is I'm gonna default back to Duel Links. I'm gonna probably play some Duel Links Rush Duel format, or I'll play Speed Duel format because there's a Kaiba Cup. So this is like the best opportunity to be able to get like stuff that you actually need in terms of like actual gems, which is the in-game currency. So it's a good opportunity to. Master Duel has like a Duelist Cup, but I refuse to play in the Duelist Cup whatsoever at this point because it's just not fun personally for me to play Master Duel format because it's just I'm gonna have to play nonstop Malice for for it, and I don't have like all the cards I necessarily need for my Malice deck right now because they added like some new cards, which are the Nixter cards. I need like 2 more copies to make that, or I have to play like Ryziel and have to like sideboard a whole bunch to deal with Malice, which is what I'm not particularly looking to do, at least concurrently with everything going on. So I'm thinking tomorrow we'll do Duel Links, and I'll probably like do maybe half Kaiba Cup. I'll play some E-Heroes in that because my E-Hero deck's pretty good, or I'll try to like play Sky Strikers. I think the other half of what I'm potentially going to also do is I will most likely um sometime next week. I'm thinking maybe Monday. I'm gonna play Batman Arkham Knight. That's gonna be YouTube exclusive, so I'm gonna be streaming that on YouTube exclusively because I've played the rest of the Arkham trilogy, and I think it would be a good thing to do to finish out the Arkham trilogy, like we have done here on YouTube. What is that? Did we have a naughty comment here? Get back in the truck, you. Wow, that was a very naughty person there. We are going to hide you from the channel, whoever you are. Okay, fortunately you didn't see that. There was somebody that was being very, very, very naughty. Anyway, like I was saying before, we got rudely interrupted there in the chat. I am going to play Batman Arkham Knight. Start it next week. I'm thinking I'm gonna do it Monday, and then we'll play that. I'm not gonna play that every day on YouTube. I hope you understand because I am a content creator that also has a life out of streaming and making content. So I hope you understand that. So the things that are coming up in the future, I think tomorrow League of Legends on Twitch. Then Saturday there is going to be a rebroadcast of the Vampire Survivors Twitch stream that I did. So if you missed that, you could definitely check it out. I will probably be moderating in chat for that one. It's not a live stream, so there's going to be Twitch streams that come over as VODs. Because the thing about Twitch that I don't particularly like is that Twitch VODs only save for 15 days, and then after that, they disappear. And when they disappear, you don't really got much that you can do with it. You just go to the wasteland. So that's why I like to try to move some of that stuff over to YouTube here. So then next week, what I'm thinking is Batman Arkham Knight. I want to do Trading Card Shop Simulator because I think Trading Card Shop Simulator will be really cool to play. I have played it in a while and they have like a brand new update. Another game that I want to do is I want to do Peak. If I can get people to play Peak with me, that would be great because I really want to be able to get a whole bunch of people to play Peak. If not, I'll do Peak solo. I still haven't gotten to the summit yet, which is something that I want to do. Mage Arena, hopefully. Mage Arena is something that I also want to do. On top of that, there is a couple of other surprises. There's an indie game that's a fighting game from like 1950s Mexican horror where it's like luchadors versus monster. Monstrosity, I think is how you pronounce that. So I definitely want to check out that game as well. Any games that you have in particular that you'd like to see me play on the channel here on YouTube or on Twitch for that matter, definitely let me know in the comment section. Definitely let me know in the live chat. Definitely let me know however you want to let me know. I'm taking recommendations right now. If it's something that I think it's good, if I think it's something that's fun, if it's something that, within budget, I definitely will check that out because I'm going to be doing content for a long time again. So when I say like full-time, I definitely mean the full-time content there. So With that being said, though, that is all the time that I have for today because I want to eat some dinner. I want to hydrate. My throat is hurting me a little bit from yapping for almost 2.5 hours. Thank you, everybody that came out today. Thank you to Countess Crucible. Thank you to Nerd Big. Thank you to that naughty Billy Joe guy who probably just got himself banned from that chat. Thank you to everybody that was lurking. Thank you to all my chatters, VOD watchers. If you watch this video all the way till the end, definitely make sure to leave me a truck emoji so I know that you were here and that you were lurking. Anyway, thanks everybody. I do greatly appreciate it. And most importantly, I appreciate you. I will see you tomorrow on Twitch for League of Legends. And if that doesn't pan out, I will play probably that monster fighting game. Anyway, till next time, guys.